What's going on, guys, and welcome to today's video. And today we are with my lovely wife Kelsey, and we are going to be breaking down the total cost to the penny of building our current home. And I don't want to say our dream home because she's a realtor, and if you follow my channel or her channel, yeah, she loves new homes, and we built last in 2020. Lived there for a little over a year, and her realtor self wanted to then sell the home because the market was crazy, and here we are now. You guys, if you again watch my channel or her channel, you would have saw the build process over the last how long was it for this?
Over a year.
Over a year roughly for this house build, and we were building in not very good times for pricing or even availability of things. So now, if you guys have not subscribed to Kelsey's channel, I will have a link down in the description. She will have a lot more in-depth walkthrough of the interior of the house, talking about all of the cool finishes and choices and everything else that she chose. So, like I said, I will have that link down in the description, and please do me a favor and hit subscribe. This is 2023 Midwest, Wichita, Kansas pricing. So keep that in mind, that your region, your area is going to greatly be different, I guess, than what it is here in the Midwest. If you're in California, this is going to sound like an outrageously cheap home. Oh my gosh, you guys get it easy. If you're in somewhere else, this might be really overpriced. So take that with a grain of salt and know we're in the Wichita, Kansas area. But this is a 6-bedroom, 5-bathroom house, and we are roughly a 6-car garage. We are right at 4,900 square feet total. So I guess the first big expensive item is the lot, this piece of ground here. It is only 0.58 acres. So no, we are not on huge land. We don't have, you know, acreage behind us or anything like that. But the land itself was $165,000. So the first line item is concrete. Now I am grouping that with the concrete, obviously, here in the driveway, the foundation work, and here in Kansas, having a basement is the normal thing, which obviously is going to be different in your area. So concrete, the basement walls, all of that sort of thing was $84,205. All right, so the next item is trusses. Roof trusses, the floor trusses, all of those were $57,204. Now the next large thing is going to be framing. Framing's all of the walls, the basement walls, the upstairs walls, all of those items equal $74,536. Now roofing, that is all of our shingles, obviously, that is roughly $16,332. Now for siding, all of the sides and the back of the home does have normal traditional siding, and then the front we do have a little bit of board and batten accents here, and that total was $15,115. Now for the brickwork on the front of the home, that was $23,113. Windows were $20,967. Now for the excavation of the basement and foundation was $8,413, and then waterproofing of that foundation was $2,153. Now our 2 garage doors with garage door openers were $6,920, and that was with me installing those garage door openers myself, so I saved a little bit of labor there. Now the paintwork, this total is interior and exterior, and obviously the brickwork did get painted. That total is $32,327. Now guttering is $3,530. Now back here in the back, the patio or the elevated patio is concrete, but the stairs down and all of the railing and assorted items were $8,114. Now the sprinkler system that you can see running right now was $5,410 installed, and almost identically priced was our grass at $5,144, but do keep in mind that was with her and I laying all of this ourselves. We put all 33 pallets down ourselves, and it was real bad to do. Now, the irrigation well to run the sprinkler system was $3,875. And last but not least, outside was the dirt work, the grading, that kind of thing, and it was $5,107. All right, so now moving to the interior of the house. The first big expensive thing is plumbing. Now, obviously, there is a lot of plumbing in a home, and that totaled $32,729. Now, HVAC, heating and cooling of this house. This does just have a single large unit, and then there is a smaller mini split unit for the upstairs portion, and that is $17,453. Now, electrical, counting light fixtures, etc., that is again $30,816. Now, next up is sheetrock. Sheetrock was $26,509. And the insulation to go behind that sheetrock was $11,650. Now, trim work for the home, that's gonna obviously very much greatly depend on what you do for that house, whether you've got built-in units like these, etc. But all of that trim work, baseboards, roof beams, all of that totaled $47,816. Now, fireplaces, we do not have gas fireplaces. We have gone with electric fireplaces, and she was able to find those for a ridiculously good deal online, and that's where we ended up saving a decent amount of money with her doing her searching and finding online. But those 3 electronic fireplaces only totaled $1,000. So again, that was a good place where we were able to save with buying a lot of our own items instead of having the builder or whoever find those for us. Now, home audio, she has a few speakers throughout the house on the main level, a few in the basement. That system was $1,800. Now, all of our flooring, whether that be carpet or the wood flooring, and all of our tile work, the showers, the kitchen backsplash, the stonework on the faces of the fireplaces, that totaled $49,253. Now, to go with those kitchen backsplashes, all of our counters throughout the house, kitchen, bathrooms, etc., was $13,899. And again, cabinets for kitchen, built-ins, bar, bathrooms, all of that was $25,227. Now, interior and exterior doors in this home, I don't know how many there are, but there are quite a few. That was $10,883. Now, another thing that we saved a decent amount of money on was hardware. That is kind of a general item that includes door handle hardware, the handles for all of your cabinets, door stops, all of that kind of stuff. Only equaled $1,800, but again, keep in mind that I was the one that did all of that labor work. I installed every single door handle. I drilled every single hole for all of the cabinet pulls, the door stops, all of that. So again, a lot of builders aren't going to let the owner or the potential new owner do as much work as we did, but luckily she has a good relationship with that builder. We are able to jump in and do a few of the labor or items to save some money. Now, glass and mirrors. A few of the cabinets, again, have glass in them, or the mirrors, obviously, in the bathrooms. That only totaled $460. Now, appliances for the kitchen totaled $4,302. Now, some other miscellaneous items that are, again, associated with building the house are dumpsters. There were probably 3 or 4 rollaway dumpsters that get brought, obviously one at a time, filled and taken away, and those totaled $2,870. Next to said dumpster was a porta potty for the duration of the build, which totaled $1,391 for the servicing fees. Now again, the whole time the home is being built, the home does need to have access to power for construction workers to work, etc. So the utility bills while building totaled $1,306. Now again, while they're building, they are setting up dirt erosion control to keep some of the dirt and mud out of the streets. That was $882. The survey for the land, prior to them being able to build, they need to have a survey done for permitting, etc. That was $1,535. And again, while that home is being built, the builder has a loan, or it might be different in your situation, but the bank is wanting their interest off of that, depending on who is carrying that loan, and that grand totaled $17,241. Now again, another item that is calculating during that home build is property taxes equaling $3,700. Now the builder does also carry insurance for that home build during the duration of the build, which again costs a total of $2,100. Now permits, whether that be city, state, whatever, that totaled $6,294. Now this item on our build, again, might be different depending on who you're building with, but our builder just charges a flat fee at the bottom of his builds and carries all of those costs from any of the items straight across to you. And then again, like I said, charges his builder fee at the bottom, which on this build was $46,500. Now last but not least is the realtor fee. You as a normal person would be paying the listing and the buyer's agent fee, which would be 6%. Luckily, she has her license, so that knocks 3% off, and we are then paying 3% for the listing agent side of things, which grand totaled $19,879.
Okay, so that's everything. You've heard all the totals. I'm sure you weren't calculating them in your head, but just based on what we've told you so far, what do you think the total is? I love to play games like this. He never wants to play games. He just says $5 whenever I ask him. So what is your guess?
Now we were originally guesstimating this build to kind of grand total at $812,000, which yes is a lot of money, but that's what the number we had in mind. Most builders, that number is set in stone. You sign a document stating that that's what the build is unless you make any changes. Our builder, again, is a little bit different than most, and he has a bunch of estimated numbers, and unfortunately in this case they did not fall very close to that number. We were roughly about 100,000 over budget, and again, that is with us doing a ton of work. We laid the sod ourselves, we installed handles and door pulls, and we did quite a bit of work ourselves.
We bought all the light fixtures,
Again, yes.
Plumbing fixtures, fireplaces, hardware, bathtub. I bought a bathtub. We bought a lot of things. We painted the garage ourselves.
Right, so again, we saved a bunch of labor doing things ourselves and still ended up at $916,756. So again, at the end of the day, $100K over where we had planned. But again, it's a little bit different because I have a friend building right now that, again, he signed a document stating the price at the beginning of the build. So no, it wasn't our builder screwing us over and charging us more. That's just, unfortunately, how all those labor numbers fell. The big things that were considerably over what we had estimated were the utilities. Now, our previous home we had built in 2020, we built with the same builder, had the same similar pricing setup, and ended up being a few $1,000s under our estimated price. So yeah, it just was not the same case here in 2023 with ridiculous prices of things, of getting a hold of things, and just everybody charging a lot more than what we kind of thought they should have. The plumbers charging 30 grand, the electricians charging 30 grand. Everybody just tried to charge a lot of money, and I don't know if that's just the times or maybe that's just how it is right now with materials. But again, it ended up being quite a bit more, so that's why I've had to buy and sell a few more WJs to pay for the house. Now, there is a few lots still available across the street, so if you'd like to, be our neighbor, get with her so she can sell you a new home, I would be very fine with that. So guys, if you're still watching here at the end of this long video with a bunch of numbers going across the screen, I really appreciate it. And for the 2 or 3 of you that were actually interested in the total cost, now you know what it costs to build in the Midwest in Wichita, Kansas in 2023 with current pricing of everything. So guys, if you would, go click on the link down in the description, subscribe to her channel, and you can take that kind of final walk through the house and very much in detail go through every single detail and see a really detailed interior walkthrough. And guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.